Hi, I'd like to take a little time and talk about the front axle I'll be using in my new YJ build. As of right now, I had already mocked up the Dodge W150 axle, which we've gone over that where the tubes had to be narrowed. I'm not using that. Came in, picked me up this lovely little gem right here. We have a 1979 Wagoneer passenger drop, narrow track Dana 44. I'd just like to go over a few things on the axle. On the axle itself, an axle that nobody's done anything to, okay? There will be this little tag on here. You clean it up with a wire brush and there'll be some numbers on it. And these particular numbers on this tag read 4613. What the 46 is telling me is that's the number of teeth that are on the ring gear. The 13 will be the number of teeth on the pinion gear. Now this other number that's up here, the 3.54, that will actually be my gear ratio. So this axle is set up with 354 gears. These are not the gears that I'm going to be using. I will be taking them out and I will be using, I believe right now I want to use 488s. Not sure yet, still kind of up in the air on that. Now there's another number on this axle that I want you to see also. After we sanded off the rust on the tube, there is another number down here. And you take a piece of soapstone and you scrape over it and you're able to read the number. It reads 603683. Now, there's a website Dana manufacturers use, or on the Dana manufacturer website. You go to it, you plug in this number, and this number will tell you what vehicle this axle went into. And this axle went into a 1979 Wagoneer. What we're also going to be doing on this axle is this will be a spring over axle. DT Fabworks makes a lot of parts for full-size Jeeps. So take a look at their website. They got some pretty good stuff there. All right. One of these perches is going to weld onto the long tube. And in order for it to weld onto the tube, this is measured for a 2 3/4 inch axle tube. Our axle tube is just a little bit wider. So we have just a little bit of a gap in here. What we're going to be doing with this one is we're going to be grinding down the edges just a little bit so that when we set them on here, it'll have a tighter fit. Now there's also, TT Fabworks sends out this awesome information paper here. Information on how to weld them on, how to line them up, and how to get them set up properly. Okay, this is the easy one. This one that gets welded on the short side of the tube is a little different. As you can see, it's going to sit up here on top of the cast steel. And I don't know if you can see this from the camera or not. There's a little edge that sticks out here. We'll have to grind this down just a little bit because the U-bolt, when it sets on here, is going to be right up against this. So there's going to be a little bit of modification in here. And the instructions are right here. Everything that we need to do is right in here. So what I was doing right now is what I'm trying to do right now is get some of this paint and scale off of the tube so that when we go to weld this on here, we'll have good adhesion. I also want to take this moment to tell you I do a whole lot of things, and there's things that I'm not afraid to do, but there's one thing that I have not mastered yet, and I'm totally being honest here. My dad's a welder. I'm not. So the welding part of this project I don't feel comfortable doing, only because I am a beginner welder. So what I'm going to do is I'm asking K-Man to go ahead and weld these perches on for me. I will feel much better as I'm off-roading, that I'm not going to lose my axle somewhere.